Hello, and welcome again to New Orleans Public Library's virtual Storytime. My name is Jeff. I'm here today at the Children's Resource Center. Remember, you can find all of our virtual content, including more story times like these, at NOLALibrary.org. Today, our theme is Gumbo weather. And it's getting to be October now. The weather is starting to change just a little bit. And in New Orleans, when the weather starts to get a little bit cooler, everybody likes to go inside and make a nice bowl of gumbo. So our story today is going to be a little bit about that. We're using our felt board to tell our story today. And the reason we like to use our felt board is because it is a way to use our playing and our talking skills to help develop our narrative skills. And what I mean by that is you can take an object from the felt board, like our gumbo pot here, hold it in your hands, place it on the board, and we can start to tell a story about that pot. And I bet if we think about what we're doing, we could probably make ourselves a little gumbo in that pot. Cooking works like this too at home. If you want to have the family come in the kitchen with you and help you cook dinner, and everyone go through the steps, you're really telling a story that way too. Watch this. So when we're making our gumbo, well, first, of course, we make our roux, but then, we want to add our vegetables. And when you're making a gumbo at home, obviously, the vegetables you're going to want to put in there are your peas, and carrots, turnips, corn, and obviously everyone's gumbo has a nice red juicy apple. Now I know what you guys are thinking. Y'all are like, Mr. Jeff, this at my house we don't put any of that stuff in my gumbo. And you're probably right, but a good story always has a little bit of a surprise to it, right? In fact, today's story is our version of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. And you'll find maybe there's some surprises or two or three in there yourself. But that's just in a second. First, y'all got to help me make this gumbo. In order to do that, we're going to have to chop our vegetables and put them in the pot. You want to help me? Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with our carrots. And then we're going to take our hands and we're going to chop it. We're going to chop, chop, choppity chop. Cut off the bottoms, cut off the tops. All that's left, you put in the pot. A chop, choppity chop. Let's do another one. I think y'all can do this with me. You ready? Let's take our peas. Chopping the peas, everybody. A chop, choppity chop. Cut off the bottoms, cut off the tops. All that's left, you put in the pot. A chop, choppity chop. That's great, everybody. Terrific. We are going to throw the rest of our vegetables in the pot to simmer, and then we're going to go and watch Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Once upon a time, there was a nice, cozy house in the woods. And in that nice, cozy house, there were three bears. There was a big papa bear. There was a medium-sized mama bear. And there was also a little baby bear, too. One day, when the weather first started turning a little bit cool outside, Papa Bear said, "You know what? This feels like gumbo weather. I could really go for a nice bowl of chicken gumbo with okra." I do love gumbo weather," said Mama Bear. "But I really don't like okra that much. I could really go for a nice bowl of seafood gumbo with filet." "Well," said the Papa Bear, "today is the first day of gumbo weather. Why don't we celebrate? I'll make a pot of chicken and okra gumbo, and you make a pot of seafood and filet gumbo, and we can have a gumbo party. "Oh, I want to be in the gumbo party," said the baby bear. "Can I make a gumbo too?" Mama bear and Papa bear kind of smiled at each other because baby bear had never really cooked anything before. "Of course you can," said Mama bear. "I can't wait to see what you make." And so the three bears went into the kitchen to make their gumbos. "Here is my chicken gumbo with okra," said the Papa bear. "And here is my seafood gumbo with filet," said the Mama bear. "And here is my gumbo," said the baby bear. "It has potato salad in it." "Potato salad?" shouted Mama bear and Papa bear together. "Who puts potato salad in gumbo?" "It's the way I like it," said the baby bear. "Do you want to try it?" "All of these gumbos are too hot to try right now," said the Papa bear. "Let's let them cool down for a bit." And so the bears left all of their gumbos on the counter to cool, and they all three went out of the house to take a nice walk. Just as the bears were leaving, a little girl named Goldilocks happened by. When Goldilocks walked by the bear's house, she smelled all that delicious gumbo cooling on the counter inside. That gumbo smells good. And you know, it does feel kind of like gumbo weather out here." So without bothering to knock, and without bothering to ask if anyone was home, Goldilocks walked right into the bear's house and into the bear's kitchen. She grabbed a spoon and dipped it into the chicken and okra gumbo. "This gumbo is pretty good," she said, "but I really do not like okra." So Goldilocks dipped the spoon into the seafood and filet gumbo. "I kind of like this too, but look at this big old gumbo crab floating around in it. That's too messy. What am I even supposed to do with that?" And so Goldilocks took a spoonful of the gumbo with the potato salad floating in it. The gumbo was warm and just spicy enough. The potato salad was cool and just creamy enough, and with just the right bit of bright pickle flavor. "This is a perfect idea," said Goldilocks. "This gumbo with potato salad is just right." So Goldilocks ate up all the gumbo with potato salad. And then she went back and ate the rest of the other gumbos anyway. After all, it was gumbo weather outside. After all that gumbo, Goldilocks figured it was time to take a break. So she grabbed an interesting cookbook off of the kitchen counter and looked for some place to sit and read. In the living room, she found 3 chairs: a big chair, a medium-sized chair, and a very small chair. Without bothering to ask, or wonder even if she was allowed, she sat down in the tall chair. But it was too tall, and it was hard and uncomfortable, and Goldilocks really couldn't read in that chair. So she tried the medium-sized chair. But the medium-sized chair was too smooshy. So it was just as uncomfortable, and Goldilocks had to try the small chair. The small chair was perfectly comfy. Her feet could reach the ground. It had a little armrest that allowed her to hold her book up just so. Goldilocks really liked this chair. Goldilocks leaned back in the chair just the way everybody always tells you you're not supposed to do. And then all of a sudden, snap! The little chair broke all down and fell on the ground. Goldilocks still wanted someplace to rest, and all that gumbo and potato salad was sitting heavy in her stomach. So she left the chairs where they were and went to look for someplace else to lie down. Without bothering to ask whose it was, Goldilocks laid down in the biggest bed in the house. But that bed was too hard and uncomfortable. So, Goldilocks found a medium-sized bed to lay down in. But the medium-sized bed was smooshy and still too big besides. Goldilocks felt like it might swallow her up. So finally, Goldilocks laid down in the smallest bed in the house. It was just perfect. Her feet fit in there and everything. Goldilocks settled in with her book, and soon enough, between that and all that potato salad sitting in her stomach, she fell asleep. Eventually, the bears came back home from their walk. "Y'all are really gonna like this potato salad gumbo, Mama. I promise," the baby bear was saying. Mama Bear didn't really seem to believe it. All she said was, "Well, I am very hungry after that walk." But just then, Papa Bear noticed something was wrong. "Hey, somebody's been eating my gumbo," he said. "And somebody's been eating my gumbo too," said the mama bear, looking at her bowl, which was now mostly empty except for that one untouched crab. "And somebody's been eating my gumbo too," said the baby bear. That can't be right," said Papa Bear. But it was true. Pretty much all the gumbo had been eaten all up. Papa Bear looked at his chair, and he saw that the cushion was out of place. "Who's been messing with my chair?" he asked. "And who has been messing with my chair?" said the mama bear, noticing that it had also been disturbed. "And oh my goodness," said the baby bear, "my chair has been messed with too, and whoever messed with it has broken it all up." "Well, that somebody is in a lot of trouble," said the Papa Bear, and they all went to search the house to find out who that was. The bears all ran into the bedrooms. "Somebody has come and messed up my bed," said the Papa Bear, finding his covers all disturbed. "Somebody has messed up my bed too," said the Mama Bear, finding her bed all smooshed in the wrong direction. "And somebody has come and made a mess of my bed," said the baby bear. "And look, there she is." Startled, the bears all roared as loud as they could. This woke up Goldilocks, who, equally startled, screamed as loud as she could. But it was Papa Bear who spoke. "Little girl, what have you been doing here in our house? We were only out for a walk, and we didn't invite you, and you didn't ask if you could, but here you are, sleeping in our beds and sitting in our chairs and eating all of our gumbo. What do you have to say for yourself?" "I'm so sorry," said Goldilocks. "I knew this wasn't my house, and that those weren't my chairs, and that this isn't my bed. But, well, you see, it was feeling like gumbo weather outside, and it all smelled so good, and it all was so good, especially the one with the potato salad." "Wait," said the baby bear. "Did you say you liked the potato salad?" "Yes," said Goldilocks. "That one was the best of all." "Well, that's just ridiculous," said the mama bear. "Everybody knows you can't put potato salad in your gumbo." "Oh, but you can," said Goldilocks. "It says so right here in this cookbook I picked up in your kitchen." "See, Mama, that's what I've been trying to tell you," said the baby bear. "I made it just like it says in the book." "Well, it is a shame then," said Papa Bear. "I would very much have liked to taste that gumbo with potato salad in it." "Well, maybe you can," said Goldilocks, who was feeling so guilty for having eaten all the gumbo that she decided then and there she would cook a whole new pot of gumbo and potato salad so that all three bears could have a proper gumbo party. But only if the baby bear would help her do it. And that is just what happened. Do you think it's done? Maybe we should let it simmer a little while longer. But anyway, that was a great story, wasn't it? We're so glad that y'all were able to join us today. Before we let you go, I just wanted to mention a few of the resources available at the libraries that have to do with cooking and food and activities that you can do with your family. I've got on the table with me just some examples of some of the many cookbooks that we have at the library. We've got children's cookbooks. We've got cookbooks for all ages. This is Chef Kevin Belton's New Orleans cookbook. Since we're talking about gumbo and gumbo weather, I thought that was appropriate. Also, of course, is Johnette Downing's Today is Monday in Louisiana. This is a great song to sing with your family about food and Louisiana-themed food also. This is Mo Willems' Goldilocks and the Three Dinosaurs, which is a surprising story about Goldilocks. That might be a fun thing for you to read. Also, check out the library's website, NOLALibrary.org. There are e-resources available there. In particular, Tumble Books has lots and lots of streaming stories about read-alongs and such about food and about animals and activities you can do with your family. You may also be familiar with the library's streaming video service, Canopy. Canopy for Kids has a number of titles there that are provided by Highlights. One of those I know is called Fun with Food. That is just a whole video of read-alongs that are food-themed. But anyway, again, thank you everyone for joining us. We're going to let you go with a little song about bears. So let's see if we can do this together. Are you ready? We're going to talk about the bear sleeping. So we're going to make the bear sleep. Then we're going to wake the bear up like this. Then we're going to say hello to the bear. And then we're going to bring him in to tell him it's time to eat. Are you ready? Here we go. Bear is sleeping. Bear is sleeping. Wake him up. Wake him up. Say hello today, bear. Say hello today, bear. Come and eat. Come and eat. All right, that's great, everyone. Thank you again for joining us, and we will see you at the next virtual story time.